Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome back. Oh, I've just been buzzing around all morning here in the studio. It was a good night though. The Oilers won the first game against the Florida Panthers for the Stanley Cup final. It's a rematch, everybody, from last year, and they're looking pretty good. The Oilers are on fire right now, so I'm pretty excited about that. Oilers could potentially win a Stanley Cup, so that's pretty epic. Wow. Amazing times. You know what else is amazing? This island project. Mrs. Bricksie and I were playing around with it this morning, and it's something to be excited about, but it's also something to be a little bit overwhelmed about. We're gonna have to take care of this project in like bite-sized increments, I think. Like for example, we're working on fixing up train track right now. Yeah, because we disconnected the train and we had to like extend it to base plates, or extend one portion of it to base plates, which caused like the ripple effect, and a whole bunch of changes have to be made. So in order to fix that, we've got to fix the train track, etc. But before I could even like focus on this project, the first thing I had to do today, you all know me, is clean up, because it was a disaster in here. There was like sawdust and wood chips and spare pieces of like odd shaped cut melamine and strips of melamine everywhere, and 2x4s and 2x6s laying around everywhere. And I was like, oh my gosh, this place is a disaster. I've got to fix that. So that's what I did. See, look at my wood pile. Much better. Somewhat organized. That's a lot of shims. I could probably throw away some of the shims. Each one of those shims represents a run through the table saw, because that's like the cutoffs from the boards. That's how we make them square. But yeah, that's all we've got left for like dimensional lumber for creating tables. So that's not bad. That's all the stuff for my house too. That's all we've got left. That is incredible. We used to have so much, but this table project has like consumed it all. Now, I've been wanting to relocate this stuff for quite some time too, so I'm trying to thin out this wood pile, because once again, I want to paint this wall blue so it matches the sky. It's one of my regrets, is not increasing the size of the mural all the way to that white conduit right there, and also onto the stairs and all around here. But I think the art pops, and I think having the sky behind it wouldn't look that good, I guess, so it was either art or all sky. Now I want to relocate all that wood there, but the only place that I can really put it that it's sort of like out of the way is underneath the table. But the problem is there's already so much stuff underneath the table, and I don't like when we get like the bird's eye view of the city when I look up, and when I hold the camera up and we look down through the access points. I don't like when you can see stuff, and there's a lot of that going on right now. For example, when you look down right there, you can see like my wood pile and stuff. So I'm not a huge fan of that. I guess what I should do is try and not fill these access points. I've determined that I won't be doing that. That's like end game status, but maybe I could put some skirting around it. But then every time I want to pop up through the access point, I've got to like go through a curtain, which I don't think is ideal either, because I'm popping up through these access points like so frequently. So I still think that that's sort of like an end game thing too. But I did mention in my other videos that once we build our deep sea diorama surface, like just the surface I'm talking, right there, and frame it, well, maybe it should go here. Probably there actually, because you've got like more visibility there. So once we build our deep sea surface there, or maybe all the way along the whole front, there you go, problem solved. But that would just take so much parts. But wherever we build it, once we're done constructing it, I'm gonna put the black skirting on these tables. Now, you can probably see that there's some base plates laid on this surface, and they just make absolutely no sense. What is going on there? Well, Mrs. Bricksie and I, we started mapping out what we could potentially do for this city layout. Just imagine this, all the regular green base plates, like the one in this corner here, could potentially be buildings that being any of the modular buildings in the Lego City or new ones that we plan to construct, or park space. And then any of the base plates that are not that color, so dark green, dark gray, gray, tan, would be road. A lot of road. But these roads are going to be interesting because rather than being turns and stuff, we're going to have like an angled road here going there, and then a Y intersection with two angled roads coming off of it. Angled road there, straight, straight, straight. So it'll sort of like form a really cool system of roads. And then when they come around this corner here, they're going to lead off the city or off the island via another bridge. So that's sort of what we're feeling here for the layout thus far. I think that's pretty cool. You notice how I got the vacuum going there too? Our other vacuum, it keeps getting an error code, the one I got on Amazon for relatively cheap, and it's sort of driving me crazy because I like to vacuum and it keeps getting this error code. E7, I don't know, it's like a battery issue or something, so I might have to get another new vacuum. No, I guess just don't cheap out on vacuums, buy a good like brand. But yeah, this layout might be pretty cool. And you can see why we could be getting a little bit overwhelmed with this project because it's a lot to take on. We've got to build a lot of roads. We've got to move a lot of modular buildings. And when we move modular buildings from the city here, it's going to create holes within the city. So for example, if we were to remove the Parisian restaurant, the hotel, maybe the jazz club, and anything that has to do with like entertainment, dining, and sort of like accommodation, maybe build a new hotel, I guess. We can have 2 hotels in the city. But things like that is what we want to try and put on this island. It's sort of like a place to like go relax and hang out and stuff, you know? I think that'd be cool. Like the Parisian street, put that over there. But as we remove things from the Lego City, it's going to create holes. So that's a problem, right? Like we shifted this whole block over and it created 6 holes right there. That's 6 base plates. So when we create these holes, what we're going to do is just fill those with green Mills plates at this particular point. But something else that we used to do a lot of in the past, and we haven't done any of it in a very, very long time because we haven't really had this space in our downtown core to do this, is actually create rebrickable models. So we spent a long time, well, not a long time, but a decent amount of time this morning on rebrickable.com, and we were searching alternate models that you can build using Lego sets for the Lego City. So like modular buildings and all that. And we've bookmarked a bunch, and I told Mrs. Bricksie that what we should try and do is try and do 1 rebrickable model every 2 weeks. Would that be cool? I think so. But we also want to build custom stuff too. So the first 2 custom modules that we're going to take on are 2 half base plate corner builds for our beach, which are going to go right here. So I don't know what those are going to be, but you can see we actually put the activity center here. We had that stowed away for a while. Just got to boost it up another brick, and then that can be part of our mini modular buildings by the beach here. But if we come up with 2 more custom half corner buildings right there, I think that's going to be pretty cool because this beach, the plan for it is for it to wrap all the way around here and go all the way around. And it's going to wrap around the mini modular buildings, and I think that would just be super interesting. Now, because this project is so big and so overwhelming, our plan moving forward for taking on this huge project is to take it on in bite-sized chunks. So future content, what you can expect for this project, is us taking on this project in bite-sized chunks. So for example, when we have a look at this section of the Lego City right here, a video that comes out in the future will be us fixing up this corner, for example. So modifying this water plates so that it all connects with this water over here in curves, and then modifying the beach so that it's a nice curve there, tidying up all of this. You might be able to see that in one video. Building and placing one of our corner builds and showcasing that. That could be another video. Same with the other one. And then maybe wrapping the beach around here could be another video. So that's what you can expect to see in the future in regards to this project, is just us fixing up things in small pieces and just sort of having like these little changes that happen over days and weeks and weeks. And then eventually, as we take on hundreds and hundreds of those, well, not that many maybe, but a bunch of those, this will slowly but surely start to come together. But that's not all you're going to see in the future in regards to the Lego City, because this project here, it only really involves like downtownish style stuff, like the beach, like the boardwalks, like the modular buildings, like the Central Park, things like that. That's what's going to be on this table surface. So as we develop that, it's going to cause a bunch of changes throughout here as well. And we're going to work on this area in bite-sized chunks as well. And as we work on that, we're going to be shifting modular buildings over there, some of them, but not all of them. So what we're probably going to do is clear this block and shift it and condense it forward. So now downtown is the train station forward all the way around here and merging onto the island. That is going to be our downtown core. And that's going to free up a bunch of space back here for other things, such as, I don't know, maybe a castle from the medieval area, maybe a larger space for the X mansion, which we're struggling to find a home for right now. Maybe more space for things that we have never integrated into the Lego City, like the Lilo and Stitch house, the burrow, or whatever it may be. So we're going to alleviate this area of the Lego City so that we can do interesting things back here, and hopefully the downtown core can just stretch onto the island. Now, something that's nice about this island project is it's not going to cause any changes to happen to the boatyard, the train yard, the residential area, this mountain, the countryside, the creek, the location of any of this stuff here, the campground, the mountain idea, this area over here where we could put the X mansion or the burrow or whatever it may be. The winter village, not gonna have any effect on that, and all of the plans and ideas for everything over here. All the island is gonna do is affect the downtown core and really just allocate more space to the downtown core so that we can continue to grow and expand, and by adding more buildings, more rebrickable models, more modular buildings as they come out, more superhero modular buildings as they come out, etc. Or Bricklink designer program series buildings and all that. So the table expansion has created so much space for us and so much work, but the ability for us to really just do more things in the Lego City, which I think is good, because the downtown, we were running out of space, so we just needed more space for it, and I'm very thankful that we were able to open up a bunch of space for that. Now, because there's no changes happening to that section of the Lego City, in future updates, you can still expect to see us working on those mountains, working on connecting the gravel road to the tunnel, which of course is right there, and that's the project that I said I was going to continue working on next after completing the campground, and then I decided to build the island project. Well, that's just so like me, isn't it? But then we can also continue working on the cave underneath the campground and all of the stuff that I discussed earlier, and none of these plans over here are going to change. So you know what I like about the island expansion is it's going to change up my day. I won't lie to you. One of the reasons why I wanted to do it is just because I was sort of bored of building mountainous terrain. Like we built that one, this is sort of mountainous terrain and like rock work all in here, and then I was like, the next thing I need to do is build a cave. The next thing I need to do is build mountains over here. And it's like, you know what, I don't feel like building mountains anymore. But at this particular time, I'm sort of bored of that, so I want to try and like work on some downtown stuff. So I was like, okay, well, how can we do that? Well, you can just create a surface which can accommodate 140 base plates of downtown. So that's exactly what I did. And now I can get back to my primitive Bricksie ways of hopping around, changing up my day, changing up the content, and just sort of having fun with Lego by jumping around and working on everything everywhere all at once, you know? That's just sort of how I do things, and I'm pretty excited about this project because it's gonna be fun to work on, right? Now I don't have to sit there and build mountains for 6 months straight. I can work on some angled roads, work on some custom modular buildings, work on some rebrickable models, work on integrating Lego City or building style sets, right? So yeah, I'm happy that we took it on just because we now have the ability to do so much more with our layout. Also, you know, we pay a mortgage here and we pay some pretty big property tax bills that just came through. And I was like, well, you know, we got the space, we're paying for the space, we may as well utilize it, right? I think that just made sense to do. And look at that view too. It's another reason why I wanted to do it, just because I couldn't stand looking at the big open space. I think looking at that, it definitely looks a lot more presentable than the old school carpet tile, right? But I just wanted to share my excitement here, everybody. It's pretty awesome. I should probably be helping Mrs. Bricksie. Look at her go. You know what, Jose? Those are pretty solid.
Extreme.
Those are extreme. You know what? I discovered something. These look awesome. Thank you. But yeah, we're going to be working on train track and just sort of fixing up that area next, right? Like the big area right there that connects. I think that's the most important place to start. And I can't wait to take on that bridge project too, right there. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. There's gonna be so many unique things that we can work on now with this island. It's gonna be epic. Right on. Pretty pumped up. What do you think of these changes?
They're extreme.
Extreme!
Yes, very, very much in Bricksie fashion, I think.
Oh yeah.
Overwhelming, but we were saying we just gotta do it in little chunks,
Little
right?
chunks.
And that's gonna.
It's just
a matter of starting. It's overwhelming, just like looking at it and be like, well, what do we do?
You think though, we can revise the corner of the beach in a day. We can fix up the train track and those connection points in a day. We can probably make a mini modular building corner in a day.
In a day-ish, yeah.
Yeah, and then so you take each thing and you spend one day on each thing.
So like, there's like big project sections and then like mini sections. So we can either work on things over a few days or a day.
But you got
it's a lot easier than just spending a week on a mountain.
Yeah.
So
you know what?
more
like,
variety.
Yeah, it's more variety too, and we can still take on mountain projects. But like I felt like for the last while, all we were doing was building like mountains, and that's sort of one of the reasons why I was like, yeah, you know, you're gonna do Lego City, yeah, sure, but we gotta build another mountain. You gotta build another mountain. You gotta build another. So it's like, yeah, well, I want to try and build some angled roads, but it's like, well, the city was jammed, like, and angled roads take up more space, so like. If we wanted to do angled roads and stuff, I'd have to start removing modular buildings to free up space for angled roads, for example. Or we'd have to remove the concepts of mountains and change what we had in stone. So the only way that we can continue to experiment with that type of stuff and keep everything that we have in the city and add more is by expanding the layout, right? And change up our days. We don't have to sit there and build mountains for
I'm sick of building mountains.
Are you?
Those used to be my least favorite thing to do, and
You didn't do it until recently.
I didn't do it till recently. I used to get away without having to do it. Yeah. I've gotten good at it.
Hey, they're good. They look good.
I've gotten good at it.
The end result is amazing, right? But it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I like it. It's overwhelming right now on day one of looking at it, but
need to start small.
Yeah. So what we did today, well, Mrs. Bricksie, we submitted an order for some road plate packs. We're going to get a bunch of road plate packs so we can continue building more roads for those angled roads and everything. So we need to get the material slowly but surely too, right? Mm-hmm. But then I was telling you guys already, that we're going to try and make it our goal to go buy a set each week that we can, or every 2 weeks or whatever, once a month or whatever it is, to make a rebrickable model. So we can slowly but surely fill in this downtown core.
Well, that's something we used to do a lot of. We used to do like a lot of alternate builds. It's been quite a while since we've kind of focused on anything like that.
Yeah. You know, yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. That's really about it, though, everybody. Just wanted to share some thoughts with you today and go from there. All right. Farewell. Have a great day. Bye for now.